Alright guys, welcome back again. Here we are with another video review here. This time I have in front of me the Chanter. This guy is crazy. He basically runs around with this large pole and chants his pants off. Not literally, of course, because that would be kind of weird and scary and gross and yeah, gay. Nah. So anyway, um, moving on here. I wanted to show you something real quick. If you can see in front of his name here, his name's White Light, it says Fluent in Mao. That's a title that you can earn from completing quests. And you can go over here to the character window and then click on the title tab, and it'll show you the titles that you've earned through quests or missions or whatnot. You can earn these titles, and by equipping these titles they actually give you a stat boost. So if anybody was confused about what that meant when they pre-ordered the game, that you get a special title, that's what it means. You get a stat boost with that title. So to anyone who thinks that World of Warcraft has cool ratios, booyah! You have titles in this game, and you can choose them and pick them, and that's a hell of a lot cooler. So let's go ahead and get started with the Chanter here. The Chanter is basically the extension of what a priest would be, except you are more offensive. You have a large staff, and you can do damage with that in a physical attack. A lot of the skills that the Chanter has are pretty much two types. You have buff types, and you have, three types. You have buff types, you have physical and magical attack types, and then you have healing types. The buff type's pretty obvious. It'll buff your stats. Magical and physical attack types are actually kind of unique, that this class pretty much can buff an entire party and also debuff the mob that it's fighting with its attack skills. Most of the attack skills will decrease something. A couple of chain skills I have here. I'm only level 13 on this character, but it's more than enough to show you how the class works, because the skills don't really change that much as you level up. You have a couple of chain skills here that will decrease the target's attack speed. They'll decrease the defense by a percentage, and a couple of other things. So while you're getting into your chains, you'll start debuffing the mob or buffing yourself in the process. Yeah, when I say that this class has a lot of buffs, I mean it. Fucking just ridiculous amounts of buffs in this class. You have, like, I have to open up my third skill bar just because I'm getting so many buffs here in this bar that I don't even have any room hardly to put my potions and whatnot in that bar. So show you a couple of buffs here. You can boost your HP by 10% for 60 minutes, and your defense by 10% for 60 minutes. You can give yourself a 5% chance per attack to do an extra 90 damage for 30 minutes. And then you have a couple of maintainable buffs that have no upkeep on them. And these are called mantras, and there's a couple of them. You have, let's see here, you've got one that does critical hit increase chance, and then you've got this one here that increases your physical attack, and that one right there that increases your physical defense. And I think you get like up to 5 of them, I believe, that you can maintain at any time. So if you can see, my buff bar here is, already pretty filled up with buffs. So it's definitely a buffing class, and all those buffs will affect party members. So this class is highly sought after later on in the game, just because it's able to buff everyone up and turn the tides in a battle. They really can save everyone. Just because they're more of an offensive type of priest doesn't mean that they can't heal. They have a resurrection skill. They can resurrect dead players, and they have well, at level 13 they have 3 healing skills they can use. They can use the healing light, which just does a certain amount of regains a certain amount of HP. They have a couple of DOT heals, or HOTs, or whatever you want to call them, that they can use. This one lasts a little longer. There's another one that lasts shorter. They do stack. So this class, because it wears chain armor, you can see I'm wearing chain armor here. I look like some kind of gay G.I. Joe right now. I don't know what the deal is. It's with the hats in this game. I don't know what the hell they're thinking, but anyway, they wear chain armor, so they already have the second strongest armor in the game, and to boot, they also have healing spells. So this makes this class the third hardest class to kill in the game, next to the Cleric and the Templar, respectively. Templar is the second hardest class to kill in the game, and Cleric is the hardest class to kill in PvP, just because they have better spell power per level. They're able to heal more with their spells than we are as Chanters, so they can really keep their HP up at any time. They may not be able to damage you as much, but they're sure going to stay in the fight a hell of a lot longer and really annoy you and piss you off. The Chanter doesn't last as long, but they definitely do more damage, and they're able to debuff the targets that they fight a little bit better. To give you an example of how that works, I'll just do a quick fight here with the Moss Bear. That was one of the chains you could use. You can go back in here and start another route on the chain, and I'm already debuffing him, as you can see up here in his status bar, with negative defense, negative attack speed, and you can pretty much keep that going throughout the entire fight. Didn't take a lot of damage, and one of the things that I wanted to go over is the PvE for this class is very, very efficient, very user-friendly. You pretty much just buff yourself and run through your skill chains in a fight, and if you need healing, you can cast an HOT on yourself or a direct heal. So right there, and you can see my MP par barely moved. So you got a lot of mana to work with in it, and it definitely depletes at a slower rate than other classes. So for PvE, I would give this class a solid 9 out of 10. When you're fighting, you can supposedly it says transform into a warrior blah 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 something or the other. I have no idea. I haven't seen that skill. It's not in the skill list. When you go down, you would think that it would be all the way at the end of the list here, but it's not. I'm not sure if this is a stigma or whatnot that you may get later on, but I haven't seen it. So if you do get to transform into something, major plus, and I'll definitely be playing more of this class if that's the case, but for right now I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, yeah, for PvP, the Chanter, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's hard to kill other players with this class, but it survives really freaking long, and even assassins have trouble with Chanters just because they can continuously heal themselves and whittle away at the assassin's HP, and sometimes gain the upper hand in a fight if they crit a little bit, or they get a couple spells off and whatnot. Speaking of spells, you have one range spell that you can use currently. I'm not sure. I think you get a few others later on in the game, but most of the skills that you'll get as a Chanter are physical attack based with your staff. So if you want to cast at a range. It's pretty much not what Chanters do. They are up close and personal fighters, and they are meant to buff the entire party and themselves and debuff the enemy while they fight. Later on, the attack that they have is really weak, and it doesn't really take that much HP off the mob, so it takes a little bit longer to kill enemies, but you hardly take any damage at all. So that's where the trade-off comes in. So anyway, that is the Chanter. So stay tuned for the next episode.